Let's do it.
Okay, guys, we're going to walk you through how to make $3,000 a month with two programs that we are both very experienced in. We've both made good money in together. Okay, so we're in a position we can talk from knowledge about these, and we're just going to go through it, pros and cons, because one of them is like a blast from the past that's revamped and come back, and we had 122, no, 125 customers in that. And are you doing it again? So there's a bit of buzz around the industry in it. So let's just share screen and talk you through it. Well, I'll share screen while Eric says what he wants to say to
Yeah, I
you.
mean, we have, so these are we're going to talk about like a combination with one, the other, or a combination of both, how you can generate $3,000 a month. Now, these are two very, very similar programs in that they are not MLM, okay? It's what we call a single tier affiliate, right? So you're out building subscriptions. This is our big thing this year, build subscriptions, not teams, right? So we're building subscriptions and we're showing other people how to build subscriptions. So both pay out very, very high, which we love. One is 80% commission, the other's 100% commission, right? Now, the differences are one is residual based, meaning those products are paid monthly, okay? And the other, it's a one-time payment for the product, okay? So we love both, right? So we're going to talk today a little bit about a combination of how that would work. If let's start here, Paul. If our first opportunity, our quiet commission system is
Yeah.
based around, a company called HBA. It's been around 10 years. We've used their tools for over 5 years.
And can I
Okay.
say
And we're focused.
coincidentally, they're both about
Yeah.
10 years old. They're
They're
both
both about right.
established. Yeah, it's really
Right.
weird.
So we love the company, we love the tools, and we love the compensation plan. We love, the 80% commission and the residual aspect. So Paul, let's talk about, and we bring people typically into that deal at $35 a month. That's sort of the entry level. They do have another product, a premium product that you get free weeks to check out. And then obviously we encourage people to get involved in that as well. That just makes your monthly residuals or your per customer residual higher. So let's talk about, Paul, if someone came into opportunity one, our residual based opportunity at just the $35 a month, how many customers would they need to generate $3,000 a month?
They would need 108. It's 107.1. I'll always round up. So it's 108 customers. We like to say happy customers because these are products and services that people use. So they might not refer anybody themselves, doesn't matter. But so you would need 108 happy customers to make $3,000 a month.
Okay. So now if someone decided or they sold, the entire package, which is what does that come out to monthly with the
So
premium as well?
there's a premium product. It's 125 a month. You get
Right.
basically you get live coaching for that, plus some tools to make your life a lot easier as an affiliate marketer, online marketer. So the total would be 160 per month, but it pays 128 per month. See
Okay.
now, $3,000 divided by 128 is only 23.4. So I'm going to say 24 customers, 24 happy customers, right? So you got to go and you got to find 24 customers to get to your 3K a month at that level. And in my experience, about 70% of people probably take up those all three. There's also a $400 commission one time, something called FLA. Don't need to know about that. Some people buy that. So if you only focused on selling that, which you wouldn't, but you could, right, divided by 400, then you would need 8 customers. But I would say where we are focused is this right here. Okay. So people use the products. You only need 24 happy customers to be earning 3K a month.
Now this is a monthly subscription based product. So this is what we talk about residual income, right? And what we've done is we've built our quiet commissions system formula around this program. And what we do is we teach you how to take 15, 20 minutes a day or take one day a week, right? Where you can batch create and we show you how to create video shorts, right? And we give you assets, we give you tools. We have our own quiet commissions assets that we can give you. When I say marketing assets, things that you can give away, we call them lead magnets for people. We have a community that you can, that can be promoted, and we teach you how to go out and we give you these assets to go out and find subscriptions, find customers. So we give all that to you and we show you how to do that in 15, 20 minutes a day. Now, something new that's come along with this particular platform is now it is also 100% turnkey, which helps us now offer the ability for people, or now we're more comfortable saying, hey, if you want to run traffic, so if you want to do paid traffic to this system, right now we have a 100% turnkey system. And when I say 100% turnkey system, uh, what do I mean by that, Paul?
So one, so the core product, if you like, at the low level is a page builder. So if you're promoting Exodus there on the left-hand side, you're probably going to get at some point company pages don't always convert just because a company page is fixed. It's not aimed at a particular audience. So me and Eric, we often go, we love this about whatever program and we want to make a page explaining that, or we want to make a video about it and put that on a page that we send people to. So whatever if people that sell candles online probably want to make their own page, right? And and make a store. So a lot of people will buy that, that funnel builder, those page builders. So because of that though, because people are using it for multiple things, they've never included automated follow-up. You've had to go and connect to what's called an autoresponder, which you need to understand DKIM and deliverability and pay for it and set it up. But what they've done now at long last, in my opinion, HBA, Home Business Academy, they now have a complete turnkey system. You join now. Eric could join me like now, and within a minute, he'd have a link. And when you send that link out, it offers a free guide, their own free guide, and people opt in to get it, and they get followed up automatically via email. No setup required whatsoever. You literally can be promoting within a few minutes, which is brilliant.
Yeah, yeah, it's really pretty cool because, like Paul said, you get one link. Now you have a great what we call lead magnet, right? Is a PDF or a guide that was created by one of the founders of the company, right? It goes into detail about the company, everything that someone would need to know, but it also is completely coded to you. So if they read that and they want to join, they click buttons, all that's going to be coded back to you. The other thing is when they go to the website now, like they have built-in AI on the website now. So if
Brilliant.
people have questions, people, right there on the website, right, they can actually, talk to the AI and get all their questions answered, right? So on top of that, they go into this email sequence, and where a lot of people struggle is you don't have a brand, you don't have a story, you don't have any previous success, right? So and you're trying to reach out to these prospects. Well, these prospects are going to be being reached out by somebody who has a story, somebody who has a success story, somebody that's been around, a seven-figure earner, and he's going to be marketing to them on your behalf. And when they decide to join or become a customer or set up their subscription, you're getting paid, right? So now you can use our training 15, 20 minutes a day, how we show you to do video shorts and how to go out and use social media to drive eyeballs and traffic to your system. But now you also have 100% turnkey system here that you can also drive traffic to, right? So if you want to do paid ads and that sort of thing to get more attention, get more people into the system, to help you build those subscriptions faster, right? Because remember, if you're at the premium level, which we focus on, 24 customers, you're at a $3,000 a month residual income. Let me repeat that, only
Yeah, I
24
know.
customers. So how quickly do you want to get there, right? So that's why we love this system, right? That's why this is our number one focus going into 2026, because we know that we can build a nice substantial residual income, but we can also help people, who have struggled. I mean, you get two subscriptions, you're already in profit and paying for your monthly subscription, right? So it's costing you nothing to maintain this business, and you're turning a profit. So opportunity number one.
I would just add
Anything?
something else here. Let's talk about um, the premium product includes live coaching, right? So you can ask questions, they'll answer them on the lives. There is other support as well. There's an email support, there's a chatbot support. So there's lots of support, but it's the only thing that we've ever done, and it's as far as I'm aware, it's the only thing out there where the two owners will actually be on 5 days a week, and if you get stuck, you can say, look, I'm promoting my candle business and I really can't get any traction going on YouTube or whatever. And they will answer your question, they'll help you. So it's not just about HBA, it's about any business. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's live, and they have 6 and 7 figure earners, what they call T and C. Okay. So let's do this. They get verified 6 and 7 figure earners to do what they call traffic and conversion webinars.
Mhm.
Okay. Daily, Monday to Thursday, Monday to Friday. And why is that important? It's like this beats me up because sometimes people say I'm struggling a bit, and I go, "Well, have you watched any of the traffic and conversions or the Monday night on the Monday nights of What's Working Now webinar?" People that have made sales share how they've made sales in it. So sometimes people go, "Well, I'm stuck," and I go, "Well, have you watched the Monday night What's Working Now or the traffic and conversions where you've got 6 and 7 figure earners actually doing marketing for you? I mean, actually showing you what they do." And they'll go, "Well, no." I'm like, "Well, it's like, yeah, you can go and watch trainings, but it's not quite the same as seeing people do it live." Now, listen to me. I always say it, and you know, I don't know if Paul and Mike, the owners of this, will thank me for it. But if you sit and watch somebody paint a wall, it's boring, right? Every now and again, you go, "Oh, the guy's a professional painter and decorator. There's a great tip." Oh, right, okay, I've got that. And I watch cookery programs. Every now and again, I'll learn something new about adding rosemary in your roast potatoes or whatever. But on the whole, I know how to cook a potato. It's boring. Same with this. That's why I always tell you, watch on replay. You can skim through and you can find the good bits. But fundamentally, where else, Eric, can you get to actually sit and watch over the shoulder 6 and 7 figure earners do their marketing, and then regular people like you and me, when they make sales that you get invited on, can you tell it, would you be happy to come on and share with us how you made those sales? So you get both ends. You get people like you and me, and you get the 6 and 7 figure earners. So I thought that was worth saying. And we'll talk about risk in a minute. I want to explain something about risk. So I just
Well,
did that to remind me.
and it's one of the reasons why we're so focused for people this year to build subscriptions and not teams. Here's sometimes the issue with team building is, you bring people into that. Guess what? Hey, you're my sponsor. You need
Yeah.
to, take care of me. You need to do this. And you know what, guys? We do our best to help people, but if you're brand new, like how are you going to be able to support someone? You're just trying to learn yourself, right? So if you're involved in platforms where all that's already there, right? You have 5 days a week, they can go and they can get the training. They can go and they have support. They can go and they can get all their questions answered and learn, right? You can focus on what you need to focus on, and that's building those subscriptions because you want that 24 subscriptions because you want that $3,000 a month in residual income coming in every single month. Now, you may want more or you may want less, but today we're focused on 3,000. Okay. So that's opportunity number one, right? That's the residual based 80% commission, does have a turnkey. That's your core. That's kind of the if we're looking at it, if we do an analogy with the house, right? That is the foundation because as Paul will say, Eric, our residual income is our foundation. That's Paul is that's his world right there, right? Because he's experienced it. He knows what it's like to have money coming in every single month, whether he works or not. Where if something comes up, you've got a family emergency, you just want to take 2 weeks off
And
to go in the wilderness and have a think about life. You can do that with a
and for those of
residual
you that
based
don't know,
income.
my son got cancer. So for those of you that don't know, my son got cancer. And the only thing that kept us going was recurring income because there was no way I could work for a few. Well, it ended up, it takes about 3 years out of your life by the time you're done, right? And that doesn't mean say I couldn't work for 3 years, but I didn't work. When I moved to Cornwall, right? I didn't work for, I didn't touch the computer for a month, I think, because we were getting settled in and going out and enjoying the area. That was recurring income. We had a family crisis, recurring income. It keeps you going, right? Keeps you going. So you need automated systems and you need recurring income. So that's going to bring me back to risk that I'll talk about later, right? because you never know what's going to happen, right? So I have to have recurring income because that's, like Eric said, it's foundation, it's security, it's stability, right? But that doesn't mean to say, leading on to what Eric loves more, right, is when you can go and make a lot of money fast with the higher ticket stuff, right? So this is partly why we work well together. We kind of actually, I I have to have recurring, but I love high ticket. And Eric's the opposite. He loves high ticket first because you can go and get a lot of money in the bank, which gives you security. But of course, he loves having money coming in every month. So we kind of both love the same things, but we focus more on different things. And when they come together like this, it's pretty sweet, right?
Yeah, and you can't like I can't talk Paul out of wanting to build a residual income. Why? Because of his experience, right? He had that, you know, experience with his son, right? And it was 100% because he had built a residual income that he was able to be at the doctor to support and do all the things necessary, right? Can you imagine if that happened and you know you're working an 80-hour job and your son, you know, you're not able to be there at all for your loved one during that situation. So there's no way I'm going to talk him out of that. There's no way Paul's going to talk me out of high ticket because my biggest wins throughout the years, right, have been through typically high ticket. And I've been able to take that and use that, you know, those wins, right, to basically, you know, continue to be free and you know and to work for myself 100%. Not that I haven't had residual income as well, right? But Paul's never going to say, Eric, you know, we need to be 100% focused on because at some point I'm going to be like, Paul, we really need to look at a high ticket. But we were focused this year on residual. That was going to be it. But it just so happened, right? This deal that we generated years ago, 124K in 4 months, we got a random email from the company saying, hey, we're going to reactivate everybody if you want. You know, we're making these changes to the company. We've got, and the company's been around 10 years and people have been making money consistently with it for 10 years. We just went on to other projects back then and they knocked on the door and said, hey, you guys want to come back? Well, you know, we're going to reactivate, you know, everyone. And we looked at what they have now. We looked at, you know, their system, you know, and everything. They have a call center. It's set up for people who want to sort of automate. It does have an automated piece where someone could run traffic, leads come in, they can set up to have the call center talking to their leads and closing sales for them. And so we always love that approach because there are a lot of people out there who, even though we show them how in 15 to 20 minutes how to go promote their residual income business, there are a lot of people out there that want other options. They want to be able to use paid advertising. They want other people to connect with and close sales for them. So this has all that. It also has instant pay and 100% commission. There is a licensing fee, Paul, I'll talk about,
Yeah.
but it's. I'll let you, Paul, talk about Exodus, but you can see there it's got a G100, G250. Those are buy-ins. Those are one time 100, 250, 500, and 1,000. Now, we're showing you how many customers of each earns 3,000. But what I will tell you, if someone came to us and they looked at either opportunity and said, hey, I'm only looking to invest a couple $100, we're probably going to put them, say, hey, we're probably going to steer them toward the residual, right? It's at the $500 or the $1,000 sweet spot where
Yeah.
somebody says, hey, I can invest that. I'm looking for these high ticket commissions. I love the fact that there's a call center and I can run traffic and generate these high ticket commissions. That $500 level and that $2,000 level are the $1,000 level of the sweet spot. They do have a $2,000 level as well. But you know, we typically are pushing the, you know, the 1K. You say, well, push the 2K guys. Well, we typically do the one because we think, you know, obviously people can, that's a price point most people can deal with. But Paul, I'll let you talk about, you know, sort of what happened and why you know, why we brought this into the fold with our residual income build.
Okay, so in my opinion, guys, if you want to make money online, you do need an element of either recurring or high ticket because you're going to probably spend time and effort and money to generate your sales and your leads. Because if you value your time, you can do stuff for free, but it's still in effect costing you. Some days, me and Eric, we work probably all week, we don't make a sale. So you know, if you look at it like with an employee mindset, it's like, we're just busy idiots. But then other weeks we don't work and we make a load of money. So, you know, if you value your time, it costs you, is what I'm saying, right? Time, nothing's free. So if you value your time, it costs. So you even need to put the effort in on the recurring side to get one customer who pays monthly. So your bills are monthly, our customers are monthly. We've done the work once, and our leverage on that on this side with the HBA side is that as long as they keep the products, and I've had customers with me over 5 years, as long as you keep the product, as long as they keep the products, right, they keep paying, right, you're making that recurring income. That's the leverage over here. Over here, the leverage is you only need six customers to make $3,000 a month at the $500 level, or the $1,000 level is only three customers a month, obviously. The leverage here on this side is the money. So to me, it doesn't make sense to do the G100. You'd be better off doing HBA. Am I right, Eric? Or,
Totally
just to
agree.
me, it just doesn't make
Totally,
sense.
totally agree. Yeah.
So I'm going to grey that out. And the same with this one, G250. I need to find 12 brand new customers, remember, right? Remember that on this side, it's new customers you need to find every month. Right. So it doesn't make sense to me if I want to make 3K a month to have to find 30 customers that are going to pay $100, right? And then the license fee on top, which I think is $49 at that level to Exodus. I would rather go and spend $35. I get 2 weeks of the premium for free. I can still make the $100 commissions of the premium while I'm in my trial period. It would make much more sense to me to ignore those and just go for HBA and just go all out to build your recurring. Once you start getting up to the $500 level, that's when it starts to get to be a bit questionable because it's like, okay, well, six customers in a month isn't unreasonable. Okay, if you can keep doing it. And the $1,000 one obviously is just three customers a month. And some people watching this always know we're going to go, people won't spend 1,000 though, will they? Well, we had 125 that did, right? And they've been going 10 years. So, and there was only a
Can I
$1,000
can I
level.
can I say something
Yeah, of
about that,
course. Yeah.
Paul? Because there's a huge misconception when you have a higher ticket, like we've sold 1,000, 3,000, $5,000 plus high tickets, right? There's a huge misconception here, guys, that, oh my God, it's going to be so much more difficult to sell $1,000 offer than a $35 offer. And here's what I'm going to say to you. Okay. We've had $25 offers that we had to answer 35 questions for
Yeah.
somebody before they ever joined. We've had $2,500 offers where we just get a message saying, "Hey, you've got a new sale. You just made $2,000."
Yeah.
Okay. And we never even talked to the person. Okay. So understand that don't let your mindset think, well, you know, people aren't going to do that. People buy into guys, people buy into like I've looked at affiliate programs. I've sent them to Paul with like $50,000 buy-in, buy-in affiliate programs, right? People are buying into the programs. Okay, they're buying into the high ticket. So I always put that out there because people sort of stress on that, and you have to look on this side too. Like that's why I say like a hybrid, a combination is always the way to go. And that's why, again, Paul and I
Yeah.
kind of work together well because we've always sort of had this hybrid type scenario where we have the residual piece and the high ticket piece because we're talking about $3,000 a month. If you're at, you're over here building your residual with us over the next 12 months and you decide, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and get the $500 deal, okay? And then whatever, you're over here building and then no sell, and then month two, all of a sudden you get one $500 sell. That's it, one sell and you've just generated $500. You know what I mean? Just boom, just like that. Okay. So, or $1,000. Just imagine that, right? You're overbuilding with us and and on the residual and you're like, you bring in a couple of customers and all of a sudden now, hey, I've built my residual up to $300 a month. That's super exciting. But you've got your $1,000 with Exodus over here as well, business, and you're still promoting no sell on month one, no sell month two. Then all of a sudden, month three, you've built two or $300 a month in residual income over here, growing your HBA and your quiet commissions business with us. And then all of a sudden, the closing department closes the sale for you, and you just get $1,000 commission. That
Absolutely. Absolutely.
that is that's what I'm talking. That's that. And the cool thing about the thing with Exodus is it does have a call center. It does have somebody that will reach out, and they have that in place. So all you need to do is focus on your marketing and advertising, and then allow the systems to do the work for you. But you're not going to have to, you can stay focused on building your residual income like we are, right? But you can also have your high ticket out there working for you, as well, whether you're doing paid ads or whether you're doing the marketing that we're teaching you to do with quiet commissions. And, and then when you get a notification there, if you're at the 500 or $1,000 level, it's pretty exciting. I mean, how many of those do you need? If you just got one every other month, right? I mean, I don't know. If you got one a month, you know, that's, all this stuff is doable. So, back over to
Depends
you,
what you
Paul.
want the money for as well. If you just want some extra cash to help out, and it doesn't have to be monthly, like me and Eric are full time. I like having a monthly income in effect. But there's that, and there's the other thing I would say as well. So let's imagine me and Eric opened a shoe shop together, right? Imagine I moved out to America and we decided we're going to open a shoe shop. So we've got HBA and we've invested $160 and obviously we're making some money with it. But do you know what? I just don't feel like it today. Right, I've invested that money. I'm just not feeling it. I'm going to take a day off, right? But then we've got this shoe shop and we're paying rent for the shop. We've had to pay for signage, invest a lot of money for that. We've got staff, maybe. We've got all the stock. We've had to pay for the till. We've got to heat the shop for customers or air conditioning, whatever, and we've got all these bills. We've had to buy those seats where you sit down and try the shoes on, and we've got a lot of money invested in that, right? And then also you got customers that are probably turning up. So because of the big investment, do you think I'm going to turn around to Eric and say, I'm just not feeling it today, I'll take a day off? No, you turn up because you've invested, right? And we notice that a lot in the online world. If the lower you invest, the lesser the sort of motivation sometimes to get it done. If you go and you spend a serious chunk of cheddar on something, you're more likely to follow through with it. In fact, Tony, I'm a mindset guy. Tony Robbins charges people $10,000 to see him. I don't know what it is now. It's probably a lot more, but this is a good few years ago. And part of the reason is he said, I know if someone's going to pay me $10,000, they really want to change. If I offered it for free, people go, oh, I'll see if it can help me. I'll see. So there's that as well, guys. Don't forget, the bigger the investment, the more likely people are to be successful. Okay, I will say that as well, within reason. So, where are we going now? So, yeah, we talked a bit about the call center. There is no call center for HBA. I mean, me and Eric are happy to answer questions and stuff like that. You may not be. So, the call center is a nice thing to have. They take a 20% fee. But if you're paying for traffic and people can use the call center, then it's almost like a completely hands-free system. I would say nothing's completely hands-free because you still have to log in and check sales and approve payments and things like that. So there's that. So you can have that call center. Now, I wanted to talk about, well, if it's so good, why haven't we made money with it the last 10 years, right? Which kind of brings us down a little bit to risk. So we promoted on Facebook, and we know another guy who did really well with this promoting on Facebook, and we taught our people to promote on Facebook, and we had lots of people making sales. And then one day the owner said, listen, guys, I'm bringing in a call center. So you can buy these leads and the call center will work. And remember, this is 10 years ago. This isn't now. This is 10 years ago. This is the start of it coming in. And he was saying, you don't really want to be spending your time on Facebook, do you? Like we were all winning with, which kind of annoyed me a little bit because it was proven that it was working. So anyway, the leads he was buying, they weren't great leads, and the call center wasn't working. So it started to get a little bit negative. Would you say, Eric, is the right way to put it? It just didn't work.
Well, you have to realize back then, a lot of companies were like, now everybody talks about social media marketing, right? It's
Yeah,
like if you're not doing it, right, what are you're ancient, right? But in the early days, they didn't really, a lot of companies like what Paul and I did
didn't
with
understand
social
it
and
at
Facebook,
all.
they were like, don't teach people to do this. Like we have these standard ways of growing a business. And so yeah, I mean, so we back then we were like, what are they doing telling us, how to go out and market? We're actually crushing this thing. They should be like asking us to train, all the people in the company.
Yeah,
And so the other thing was back then too, Paul, is it had a it had a pass up
yeah,
system. So you had to, if you came in, you had to pass your first sell up before you could start, even getting your initial investment back, right? So now you can come in and your first sale's going straight to you. They're not doing that pass up thing anymore, right?
Yeah, that's gone,
So it was
which is
great for
good.
us because we would help somebody and then we would get their first sale, but we were actually working with them and trying to help them with that. But now, that's another huge reason why we're bought into this. And now they get it. They get it. They get AI, they get social media, they have a better, they've had all these years to perfect the call center scenario, and they know how to close this much better. So it's just gotten so much better that it's a no-brainer for us. Once they said, hey, if you guys want to go ahead and get reactivated, for being a past, a past customer, we'll just reactivate you on all your levels. And so, because we left, we took off, we were like, we were on to other things. So once they did that, we're like, okay, wow, okay, this program's gotten even better, and we already know that it converts.
Yeah.
We've done well with it. So anyway,
There's another good thing they've done as well, like that made us look again. So that you pay a license fee each level, and it used to be a yearly fee. So people would come in and they'd get all excited, they'd join. And a year later, they're like, "Oh, now you owe us like on the $1,000 level. I think it's 400, right? No, $300. So it was like you owe us $300, and people are like, "Well, what am I? Why? Where's this come from?" Well, now when you pay your license fee, it's lifetime. So it's lifetime access now, not yearly. So they've done away with the pass ups. Okay, and the other thing that started to happen was there was starting to make noise about doing these lower levels, which, as I've already explained, to me doesn't make sense when there's things like HVA. You know, I know it's one time on the left side, but but in terms of like bang for your buck, I honestly think you need to be looking at the 500 plus if you're doing Exodus, but that's up to you. We're just being honest with you guys. You may disagree, but that's where we're at. So let's talk about this risk thing. So we've just told you what happened with Exodus. The company made some changes and it didn't really suit what we were doing at the time when we had other projects and things to look at. So that's kind of why that tailed off. But that is what got me to live in Cornwall. That's got me where I wanted to come and live. And I struggled for 13 years. This is what did it, right? Absolutely, right? That's why I love high ticket. Like I say, I love my recurring coming in. So if you go on this side, to get your 24 customers, how long is it going to take before you're making you 3K a month? For the average affiliate, that's not going to happen in a month. But could you start new and make 3 sales in a month over here? Absolutely. So there's pluses and minuses. But then next month, guess what? You've got to find another 3. And the month after, you've got to find another 3. And the month after, you've got to find another 3. And the high ticket, and it's great. If you use the call center, they're going to take 20% of that every time. See what? There's no right or wrong, guys. We're just being honest with you and telling what's going on. Now, this side, though, let's suppose I'm running some ads and I'm running it to a social media page or something like that, and I lose my social media account. What happens? Uh-oh. If I lose my YouTube account where I do advertising, uh-oh, all of a sudden my income's dropped. Over on this side, though, if I've got my 24 happy customers and I lose everything, guess what? Well, they're still paying the company. I've lost my YouTube channel. Those customers don't know that. They're still paying for the products and services, and my money still keeps coming in. The other thing is the company made some changes over here. They added new levels. They changed this. Now they're taking away the pass up system, which I know some people will love because obviously it's better for them. They get the pass ups, right? But on this side, these guys, they've been through that. And they committed 10 years ago. There's like one of their core promises is they will never ever change the compensation plan. And they haven't in 10 years, and they never will because it's their whole core ethos is they will never ever change the compensation plan. And how do they manage to do that and pay 80% commissions out? Because over here, the company, Exodus, they charge a license fee. Over here, these guys are the top affiliates for their own business. They're not actually looking to make a lot of money out of the 20% that's left. Because by the time you pay out the payment processor fees and things like that, there's not a lot of money in there. Okay. And they paid out nearly 7 million now. So I think that was everything we wanted to cover, wasn't it?
it's kind of like Paul, you sold mobile phones, right?
Yep.
So if you came to my mobile phone store and I said to you, hey Paul, listen, I tell you what, I'm gonna for every line you activate, I'm gonna give you 80% commission on that on their monthly bill. I'm gonna
Yep,
give you 80% commission on that. That sound good, Paul? And
absolutely.
you, yeah, they didn't pay nearly that much, but imagine being paid 80% on that, right? So you're getting 80% on that bill. And I said, all right, well, I tell you what, Paul, if I send you down south, are you willing to go down south for 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 2 days to learn about all these phones that I have in my store, and be an expert on the phones? Well, why would I do that? Well, because I tell you what I'll do. These phones range anywhere from $500 to $2,000. You know what I mean? So I tell you what, I'll give you if you set up their line, you go sell their phone, you sell that hardware piece of phone, I'll give you 100% commission on that. How's that sound? And that's what we have here. We have, if I had to segue it, you have the subscription residual side that you're selling, but you also have over here this high ticket, 100% element as well. So that's like the perfect scenario. Like, and why wouldn't you do that? You would ne I don't know if, would you say no to that, Paul? Would you say, I don't feel like spending 2 days? Why would I just like, oh, why would I invest in or put money into this high ticket thing? It's like, oh, why would I spend 2 days training? Well, because these people are coming in, they're looking for ways to make money from home, and you're able to get them aligned, but you're also able to share this other thing with them that's a benefit to them, just like people who are looking to make money from home, they're looking for ways to make money. So now you're giving them two options and you're getting paid on both when they buy the phone and they do the line. So,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a great, sort of
Well, what I can tell you, Eric, is when a customer used to come in, we used to sit them down and we used to get all the tariff sheets out for the different phones, and we had pay as you go, we had monthly options, and some of those monthly options could cost quite a lot, especially some of the business ones. But what we did is we matched what the customer wanted to what we had, and this is the same. Are you happier making $1,000 commissions? Are you happier to invest $1,000 plus their license fee to make $1,000 commissions and you only need three sales a month? Or would you rather maybe it take that little bit longer to build it up, or would you rather have the recurring? And just like with the mobile phones, guess what? People sometimes switch carrier, they switch network. It happens. It's going to be the same here because that's life. I've had people that have gone to prison. Like they've been a good customer, and all of a sudden, why they stop paying? He's gone to prison for dealing drugs. And it's like, oh, okay, right. It happens, guys. So when we say 24, there's always going to be maintenance work. Nothing is truly passive, I don't think, right? So there's always going to be nothing that's genuine, right? So there's always going to be like that little bit of maintenance and stuff that you keep doing. We're teaching video shorts because that gives you the best reach. But guess what? You might be seeing this video on a page. Guess what we made the page in? HBA, because the tools and services are what you use to build a business and the training. So they kind of dovetail, and we've got that story. We were the first people to make six figures in HBA. Badge of honor, right?
yeah.
Because we know what we're doing. And
Well, in Exodus, you mean?
in Exeter, sorry, yeah, in Exeter, yeah, in Exeter, we were the
Yeah.
first people to make six figures in Exeter. Yeah, there's plenty of people done six figures in HBA. So plenty of people done it in Exeter, I dare say, but we were the first ones to do it, to hit that six-figure mark. And we want to, I don't see why we can't do it again, basically, because we're not conflicting. Hopefully you guys can see we're not conflicting here. There's no, it's like, what's best? I said to Eric, what about if we do our consultant hat on? You want to make 3K a month, you might want to make 2K a month, you want to make 10K a month, right? You can sort of work it out from what we've shown you. You can work it out yourself. But it's like, if we're a consultant, we're helping you do that rather than trying to promote just one thing and hope it fits you, and force it down your throat.
Yeah. I mean,
So if you're watching this on a page, we'll put some buttons at the bottom. Is there anything else you want to add?
um,
I was just
I don't
going to
know,
say actually
Paul.
proof. If you want proof that we
Yeah.
message us and we'll show you the proof. Well, I'll log in the back office and I'll show you what we did
Yeah.
with Exodus. I can show you what we're doing with HBA so you can see we know what we're talking about. I won't put it on here, but if you want a proof, I'll happily show you privately.
Yeah.
Send me a message.
We're just, hey, we're just tell it like it is. We're just trying to, we're guys that are just like, here's what you're looking at. We're not trying to sell you this insane dream. We're not trying to imagine yourself on an island, after you've left your, corporate job and you're sitting there with your wife and you're sipping da 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 da. Like keep it real, okay? And that's why we're trying to break the numbers down for you. And both of these things make complete sense to us. We hope they make sense to you. It's exciting every month knowing that you have residual income coming in, that you've built subscriptions, that you know month two. You're not thinking about where's the money coming from next month. You already know you have built-in money coming from next month because you've done the subscriptions. But on the other side of that, it's super exciting to get a notification in that you've got a larger chunk of money, a larger commission, a 500, 1,000, or $2,000 commission. That is extremely exciting to happen. So why not have the best of both worlds? And that's how and I have always operated. And Exodus just came out of nowhere for us. We were just like, wow, okay, this is a no-brainer, right? It's has everything we want now. Instant pay, 100% call center, so people can market and advertise it. They even show people where to go market and advertise it. They have people closing sales for them. All that's done. It's not a pass up anymore, so people can immediately on their first sale, they're going to get compensated for their first sale. It has all the elements that we want. It's been around 10 years. It's been proven. They are dialing in now to AI. They're in the process of revamping things in their back office. They're adding more and more value to the system. So for us, it's like, okay, and it's a simple, straightforward system. It's not confusing. There's not a million different things going on in the back office. This is it. You have your packages, you pick your package, you either go out and promote like we show you, or you buy advertising and allow the advertising in the call center to go to work for you. So best of both worlds. Here's where we're at. And if you have any questions, reach out to us.
Okay, guys, we'll leave it there. There'll be some buttons below if you're watching on the page, or if you're watching this on socials, check the caption, check the description. And like I say, we're happy to show you proof or whatever, so we can help you do that, whatever level you want, let us know. Speak soon.